I'm Syed Rizwan, and today I'll be presenting my project, Real-Time Spark Processing, where I created an entire Lambda architecture. So I will just keep the details short because it's a very short video, so I will just keep it to the high-level details. So let's just start with the dataset first. So initially, I started using an open weather map API where I hit this API after every 5 seconds and to get the temperature and humidity values of three different cities of Pakistan. So this actually created a data feed. So because it was being generated after every 5 seconds. Then I also added a little bit of randomness to the values since this API only updates after every 1 hour. So for like after every 5 seconds, the same values were coming within that hour. So I actually added some randomness to the value as well, as you would be able to see in my code later on. So let's go on and let's move on and see that I how the project started. So initially I had to create a lot of environment variables and there was a lot of care to be taken with it since if you even mess up a little bit, it would give a lot of Java errors. And after a lot of trial and error, I finalized these environment variables and I use Java 11, which is a very older version of Java, and which I got to know later on that Java 17 and above does not support Spark. So that's why I use this. Then I went on to set up the Docker containers and a Docker network was created. Then I used Zookeeper and Kafka containers. First, I pulled their images and then created their containers. Then I used, with the help of data making, which is they create very great videos on YouTube, and their code was amazing as well because I replicated its code to see how to create a Hadoop Spark image and then a Hadoop Spark cluster. So this was very helpful. And then onwards, I also created as you can see that these four different containers were created after all of these scripts were run, like the shell scripts, they were run and four containers were created. Then onwards, I created a data feed and streaming. So I first created a data feed as I told you above, and then I wrote it into a Kafka topic using a Kafka producer. So a Kafka producer was used, and I will just run this producer right now, and I will just show you its result as well. So this is the Kafka producer, and it is starting. As you can see that these messages are getting published. So it was a very cool thing to do, and it published my data into Kafka. So then moving on, I also configured a Postgres SQL database because it was very difficult to move streaming data into a dashboard directly. So I had to save the data into Postgres SQL after doing some processes on it. So I configured this Postgres SQL DB with these commands. Then onwards, I created this real-time data streaming pipeline, which actually writes the data, which actually reads the data from the stream into a Spark data frame. As you can see, a Spark session was created and a Spark data frame, and it does some transformations to the data frame, and then later on, it saves this transformation into the DB, and it finds the average values of temperature and humidity and saves it into DB, as you can see here. So these are the average values grouped by city, and they are being saved in the DB, the Postgres container actually. So this is the real-time working pipeline, and you can see that 31 epochs have been printed yet. So this is directly being sent to the Postgres table, and Postgres table is being read by our dashboard, which let me just start. It's it's already started. Yes. So as you can see, this is our dashboard, and this is an interactive dashboard. You can see it's in full screen and change the charts as well. So you can see that the average temperature for Islamabad, Karachi, and Lahore and you can see that Lahore has the highest average temperature up till now. Like I've been running this script since last few hours. So this dashboard was created using a Django application, and Flex Monster was used with Ajax and jQuery. So this was a very interactive dashboard, and it is a very basic one. So I hope to create a better one someday. So I hope you like my project. This is the end of it, and if you have any queries, you can comment on my YouTube video below,